Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
What's a person from the Czech Republic called?
Check. Check 1 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation Center for today's PSAC West matchup between the Edinboro Fighting Scots and the California Vulcans. My name is Jonathan Sabin, joining alongside me all the way back from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, Nate Kurtz. Nate, how are you doing today?
I'm alive. That's the best way to put it.
Well, we're glad you are coming into this game. Both teams coming into this one 5-2 in conference record. Last game out for the Vulcans. Big win over the Rock of Slippery Rock, 63-52 over the weekend. And then for the Fighting Scots, coming off of a tough loss, they lost to Shippensburg over the weekend, 93-82. So both teams looking to advance themselves in the PSAC West standings. We do have some starting lineups. Nate, what are the starting lineups here today for either team?
That is a very good question if we have them up. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm so good at my job. All right, starting, we have, for your Vulcans, we have number 2, Sierra Lloyd, the senior out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Number 5, Hallie Harrington, the junior out of Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. Number 22, Jordan Smith, the junior out of Manassas, Virginia. Alicia Harris, number 23, sophomore out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And number 33, Raja Frink, the senior out of Dover, Pennsylvania. For your Edinboro Fighting Scots, number 0, Rana El-Husseini, junior from Dearborn, Michigan. Number 1, Lauren Mullins, sophomore from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Number 21, Morgan Gentile, junior from Athens, Pennsylvania. Haley Sims, number 24, sophomore from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. And number 35, Bailey Brinson, freshman from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania.
Both starting lineups looking very strong, and 2 players to watch out for, one on either team. For the Vulcans, number 33, Raja Fink, has been on an absolute tear. The reigning Vulcan female athlete of the week, just been on an absolute tear throughout these last stretch of games. And then for the Fighting Scots, it will be number 0, Reina El-Husseini, averaging almost 20 points a game on the season. She's been lights out so far on the year.
I mean, you love to see it, right? It's not even just the last stretch of games for Raja Fink. This entire year, she's done an amazing job filling with the Vulcans and putting on that scoring load on her back, and she's definitely taking that in stride. Absolutely,
and I think we were talking about it a little bit before. I think the most interesting thing about El-Husseini's game for the Fighting Scots is that she's 5'3", and she's out here doing absolutely everything for this Fighting Scots team, carrying it on her back pretty much, just and leading them to a very similar record to the Vulcans. Both teams in conference play, sitting at 5-2, like I said, trailing, I believe, 3rd and 4th respectively in the conference, so right up there towards the top. And this game is hugely important for the rest of the season to see how the standings will shake out.
I mean, yeah, we're getting relatively late into the season here, and I mean, if you do anything at 5'3", what can't you do? She inspires me.
Short King, stand up.
I mean, hey, as someone who's 5'7", I'm not a tall man, so she's an inspiration to me.
Yeah, like average height, it's fine.
I mean, let me dream, John. Say voice of Vulcan Sports.
So we get ready for the tip-off. The Vulcans will be wearing white, and the Fighting Scots will be wearing red. The Vulcans will be going from left to right. The Fighting Scots going from right to left. In the center circle for the Fighting Scots will be number 21, Morgan Gentle. She'll be in the middle to await the tip-off. I guess something else to say coming into this game. The Vulcans had a tough stretch at a middle period at the beginning of the season, lost 3 in a row before winning 5 straight coming into this one. Tip-off won by the Fighting Scots. Ball will be in the hands of El-Husseini to start this game. Crosses the timeline, guarded by Lloyd. El-Husseini driving, loses a handle on it, and is going to go out of bounds. First turnover of the game, going to go to the Fighting Scots.
Yeah, good defense by Lloyd. She's just able to get her hands out there, able to knock the ball out. Lucky it's able to go out off the Edinboro Scott and get the ball back.
Vulcan's first offensive possession of the game. Ball's in the hands of Lloyd, able to escape the trap. Well, now in the hands of Harrington. He gets it back to Lloyd near the center circle. Calling the offense, gets it to Fink. Now Fink working right inside. Raja Fink off the glass, gets it to go, plus the foul. Quick start for the Vulcans. Raja Fink to the line to convert the 3-point play.
One of the best parts of Fink's game is the fact that she's able to see the court as wide as she does, and she's able to push through that defense and able to grab that foul. I think almost every single time I have watched Raja Fink play this season, she's been able to draw one.
Fink unable to make the free throw. Score still stands 2-0 Vulcans, 9:25 left to play here in the first quarter. Nice drive and a nice finish by Haley Sims. She gets fouled on the way up, so the Fighting Scots have their chance to convert a 3-point play.
I mean, poetry in motion. Happens on one and happens on the other. Breakdown on the defense, and Edinboro able to easily break through that and take advantage.
Another great drive by Sims, and that time it was Alicia Harris who got up there and fouled her, so Sims looking to take the first lead of the game for the Fighting Scots will do so. She's able to knock that down. Substitution going to be made. It's going to be Gento heading out of the game. It'll be number 5, Jillian Fisher, who will check into the game for the Fighting Scots. Edinboro playing half full court press here. Vulcan's able to break it. Harrington now with the ball on the far side. Gets it back to Lloyd. Lloyd just commanding the offense here. Nice dribble move. Able to get inside. Lloyd from the free throw line. That shot way off the mark. And the Fighting Scots able to get the rebound. That pass nearly went out of bounds, but El Husseini able to pull that one in. It's going to be Sims on the near side. Looking for some help. Kicks it back out. Nice drive to find Fisher in the corner. Fisher, dribble move, pull up jumper, shot too short, and Harrington able to pull on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's great defensive spacing from Edinboro so far, and you see their Cal's defense already also showing some impressive defensive spacing. I'm hoping to see some great defensive battles this game.
Harris inside driving, shot with the right hand, gets it to go off the glass. The Vulcans retake the lead 4-3, 8:25 left to play.
I mean, it's just post-paint. It's post-paint work this entire season. Vulcans have been dominant in the paint, and they've been proving it.
Sims driving once again. Nice hop step in lane. Great block by Fink. It would just poke that one out of the hands of Sims. And Lloyd does a good job at just slowing things down. Nice move. Able to find Fink inside. Raja Fink once again going to get fouled on the way up. Great find by Lloyd, able to find her underneath.
I mean, one of the most impressive parts of Tiara Lloyd's game is her playmaking and her ability to see the court. I mean, she's able to find an open Raja Fink, who just throws herself out there and is able to draw the foul out again.
That'll be the second foul of the game for the Fighting Scots. Substitution is made once again. Fink at the line to convert. Able to knock down the first one. 5-3 lead now for the Vulcans, and like we talked about earlier, this has been her game so far. Able to get inside, able to do a great job, and she's been able to be the one to carry this Vulcans offensive load.
I mean, this team was nationally ranked at the beginning of the season for a reason. Raja Fink is a game changer, as you see. Amazing defensive play there, getting the ball out of bounds. Mr. Sabe, you can't believe it.
Disgusting. Another block by Raja Fink just sends that one out of bounds. Fighting Scots able to get the inbound. It's going to be Mullen. Gets it out to Sims. Back to Mullen in the corner. Fakes the shot, able to work inside, but the mid-range floater able to knock that down. Game's all tied at 5.
Yeah, see her a bit way too early there. She tried to go in for a steal and just able to break that.
Nice job by Harrington to break the press. Lloyd able to find Fink on the far side. Fink working right in the paint. One more pass to Harris inside, and Harris able to finish off the glass. Unselfish play by the Vulcans to start the game.
It's the ball movement of this Vulcans team. It's absolutely amazing how they're able to throw the ball from one end of the court to the other without it even being touched.
It's going to be Borelli inside. Kicks it out to El Husseini from 3. That one too strong. Brinson able to pull on the board. Sims from 3. That one off the mark. And fighting for the rebound is going to end up in the hands of Harris. Don't know how. Able to rip that one out of 3 players. Now the Vulcans going the other way with Lloyd. Harrington in the corner, able to secure it. Harrington working way inside. Nice move by Harrington. Floater no good. Harris able to get the offensive board and another finish at the rim. 6 points for her already.
This team is just on point together. They know where they are. This chemistry is absolutely at its best. They know where to find each other. They know what plays they want to make with each other. They don't even need to know what sets they're running. They just need to know that they're on the court together.
Vulcans playing a little bit of pressure. It's going to be Mullen pulling up from 3, able to knock that one down. 1 point game now for here in the Convo Center. 9-8 your score, 6:35 left to play here in the first quarter. And the Fighting Scots still with this high pressure defense. Nice pass by Lloyd, able to find Smith across the court. Her pass tipped, but Harrington able to pull that one back in near midcourt. Harrington's pass nearly stolen away, but Harris gets it down to Fink. Fink back to Harris. Harris off the glass, no good. Smith gets the board. Smith's shot's going to go, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to wave that one off.
Yeah, I think the whistle went before she put the shot up.
And once again, just great ball movement by this Vulcans team. That time it was Smith and Fink just playing hot potato, just passing it with these give and goes underneath the basket.
I mean, it's just basic basketball. It's passing the ball, and sometimes that's just all you need to do to win a game.
Vulcans inbounds. Lloyd, the mid-range jumper. Doesn't get the bounce, but Fink is able to get the offensive board. Raja Fink driving once again. Her shot goes off the side of the backboard, able to get it back. Smith fakes the pass, driving inside, finds Fink in the corner for 3. Raja Fink, not known for her 3-point prowess, but a foul called underneath the basket. I believe this one's going to go against the Fighting Scots, and the Vulcans are going to get the ball back.
I mean, Raja Fink's just a game changer. Anytime you see her on the court, she's going to command the ball. She's going to command the offense. She's going to command the defense. We saw earlier that she had already a very impressive block, and she's already commanding the paint and making this her game.
Lloyd able to find Harris inside, and Harris once again able to finish. 8 points already here in less than 5 minutes to play in the first quarter already. The Vulcans with a 3-point lead, 11-8. Ball's now in the hands of Boggs. Boggs gets it over to Sims. Sims pulls up from the mid-range elbow, able to knock that one down. The Vulcans now going quickly the other way. Lloyd trying to break the press. Whistle blown.
It looks like it's going to be against Edinboro.
And as that one's going to go against number 12, Macy Jarrett. That's already 5 fouls in the quarter already, so that'll mean the Vulcans will get sent to the bonus, and Lloyd will go to the line.
I mean, that's something that you can't do this early in the game with already 5. There's already still 5 minutes left in the quarter alone. So it's something as Edinboro you can't just afford against this powerful Vulcans team.
And Lloyd able to knock down the first one. That's her first point in the game. Lloyd able to extend the lead to 3, 13-10 your score, 5:23 left to play here in the first quarter. Like you said, the Fighting Scots have to be careful for the rest of the quarter. That's just giving away cheap points for the Vulcans to try to pull ahead. Gentile with the ball. Able to get it back to Mullen. Now Sims. Sims under a bit of a pressure. That one gets poked away.
And the Vulcans' defense just absolutely suffocating. They get you in a corner and they'll just double you and can't even move the ball away. In an important matchup like this, it's something that needs to be on point.
And that was Alicia Harris who was able to poke that one away. The reigning PSAC West Defensive Athlete of the Week, showing her prowess there. Substitution made for the Fighting Scots. Elisani checks back into the game for Sims. So you see the Fighting Scots early like to make these substitutions, just keeping every single player fresh on the court.
I mean, you got to commend it. It's keeping everybody fresh. They're able, if this goes into an overtime or if this goes into a later game, you're able to keep those people fresh.
Smith in the corner for 3. That one no good. Harris able to get the offensive board. Her shot no good. It's going to be Borelli able to pull in the board. El Husseini going the other way for the Fighting Scots. Looking for some help. Able to get it over to Mullen on the far side. Mullen brings it back out. It's going to be Suman driving in. Gentile now working inside. Great hands by Lloyd to just poke that one away.
That's what I said. Defense has been suffocating so far. And in this close game, it's going to be the deciding factor.
Harrington looking for some help. Able to get it over to Harris, who gets that one poked away. Able to get it back, though. Fink now driving with the right hand. Able to work her way into the paint. She's going to get called for the charge. Great job that time by Suman. Able to just get her feet set and gets knocked down inside the paint.
And that's something that you need to do. You're going to need to be able to stop Raja Fink when she gets in the paint.
And with that, that'll take us to a media timeout. And while we have a second, we take a look at the tail of the tape coming into this game for both teams.
I mean, yeah, the Vulcans scoring 66 points a game compared to Edinboro's 78.3. Vulcans shooting is simple, 38.3% to Edinboro's 39. Not much of a big difference there, but what comes in is the three-point percentage. Edinboro is shooting 32.5 compared to Cal's 27 even. Free throw percentage, we're looking at the Vulcans at a nice 66%, going to the Edinboro's Scots 72% even. And the rebounds per game, the Vulcans absolutely dominating the boards and the paint with 40.2 to Edinboro's 36.8. And the rebounds have definitely played a big part in this game so far.
And take a look at some highlights from the first couple of minutes. That time a great shot by Fink to open the scoring. Nice shot off the glass, then another drive by Sims. And that shot able to finish after a little bit of contact, but able to knock it down. This time a nice drive by Harris, able to work her way inside and knock that shot off the glass. It's been, like you said, it's been the paint game all game so far. And here we have a shot of the block by Fink. It's going to be a nice drive by Brinson, and Raja Fink just sends that one away.
I mean, it's just with her frame that she's able to dominate. Nobody else in Division II college basketball has a frame like hers.
Absolutely. And, I mean, like you said, she's kind of just all over the court. She's not the tallest, but just super lanky in terms of her arms. Like, just has a humongous wingspan down there. And like you said, she's integral not only to the scoring, but just every part of the game. She's super well-rounded, great on the boards, great, like some underappreciated passer of the ball. And then she's been terrific on defense so far, so every part of her game has been lights out. Now we're back underway. Nice drive inside by Suman, and she's able to knock that down after a tough shot.
Beautiful shot under the paint, able to throw it up with what it looked like a finger roll. An absolutely beautiful move, and that puts this game to 1 point.
Lloyd, nice pass, no look, and Smith blows the layup underneath. Now the Fighting Scots going the other way. Hosseini working her way inside. Lloyd able to get her hands on the ball, but a foul going to be called, I think. El Husseini got tripped by Lloyd as she was just trying to come across.
Yeah, Lloyd does not look too happy with that one.
I mean, that one could have gone out of the way. It looked pretty close. It looked like she was able to just almost rip it out of her hands, but may have just caught the foot first before able to make contact with the ball.
And that just comes with the physicality. You're seeing this game's already been very physical, and plays like that are going to happen. You just got to be careful to not make too many of them.
Inbound. El Husseini is able to get it, but not able to finish the layup. Harris able to pull on the board. 3:25 left to play here in the first quarter. Vulcans up by 1. Fink able to find Harris in the corner, able to get it back out to Lloyd. Nice pass to Fink and a great cut and another great finish. Vulcans with a 3-point lead.
One of the things that makes the Vulcans offense so deadly is the ability to just turn the offense on and off. They can go to slow set-by-set play, or they can go fast break to fast break. It's amazing, and it keeps them in the game very quickly.
Mid-range jumper knocked down by Suman. Great finish by her. Cuts the lead back down to 1. Lloyd able to find Harrington in the corner. Harrington able to jump up and secure that pass. Harrington hands it off to Lloyd, able to find Harris inside. Harris trying to find Smith, gets that one stolen away.
And in the defensive spacing, Edinboro has completely shut down any sort of passing in the paint. It's just been up to Sierra Lloyd's amazing playmaking to get anything done so far.
Suman outside, working against Lloyd. Gets it over to El Husseini in the corner for 3. That one a little bit too short, pulled in by Lloyd. Lloyd looking to go quickly here, trying to find some runners on the far side, but great job by the Fighting Scots to get back in transition. Smith able to find Lloyd, now back to Smith. Pump fake by Smith, gets it to Fink, but Fink not ready for it, losing control. El Husseini going the other way, has trailers, going to work her way into the paint herself, but her shot hits the underneath of the rim.
I think she was too worried that Raja Fink was coming.
Nice pass by Harrington to find Smith underneath, and Jordan Smith able to finish end-to-end here.
That's a great turnaround, too. I mean, yeah, that's what I said. I think she was just worried that Raja Fink was going to come behind her and block the shot, so she wanted to secure the ball, and California able to just turn that ball back and make a great fast break play.
And she just lost her sight of where she was relative to the basket. It's going to be Gentile working right inside. The mid-range floater, no good. Harrington gets the board. 2-on-2 the other way, but Harrington is going to pull it out here. Able to get it to Fink. Fink over to the far side to Lloyd. Lloyd deep from 3, and Lloyd able to knock that one down.
Sierra's not playing any games tonight. She wants to win this game.
And coming into this one, Sierra Lloyd has been struggling from the field, and it's nice to see her knock down some early shots here. Suman to answer back, can't get the 3 to go. Now the Vulcans going another one once again. Lloyd backing down. El Husseini able to get it to Fink. Fink, nice crossover move to get her way inside, able to find Smith underneath. Smith shot, able to get it to go, but had to travel to do so. The Vulcans will turn the ball over.
I mean, again, in Raja, I think it's watching her game is amazing. I don't understand how she is able to just manipulate the ball the way she does. You'll see she looks at the basket and she's able to just put a no look behind the back pass or something like that. It's crazy.
And it just seems so effortless when she does it as well.
I only wish I could do it, Don.
Absolutely. Sims now trying to work her way inside, losing control of it. Great job by Smith to come over and help. Pokes it away. About a 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here to wind things down in the first quarter. 30 seconds remaining. Nice pass by Lloyd to find Harrington, but Harrington can't pull that one in. Fighting for it on the ground. El Husseini comes up with it, able to find Sims. Shot clock turned off now here at the end of the first quarter. Fighting Scots going to look for one final shot. They get the ball in the hands of El Husseini. Looking for some help. Loses her dribble. Able to find Sims. 5 seconds. Sims deep from 3. That one almost banked it in. but shot no good, and that'll be the end of the first quarter here in the Convocation Center. Your score, California 20, Edinboro 14. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Network, and 91.9 FM WCAL.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Convocation Center for the start of the second quarter between California and Edinboro. We have a second. We take a look at the team leaders, starting off with the Vulcans.
I mean, yeah, as we talked about almost the entire game so far, Raja Fink's been a game changer, and you see that she's leading the team in points at 15.2 and rebounds with 10.5. And Sarah Lloyd, another one, also contributing a massive amount to this team. The senior putting 76 assists on the season with 36 steals. Moving on to Edinboro, it's a bit one-sided. Al Husseini putting up 19.8 points, 6.0 rebounds, 49 assists, 39 steals, and 34.3 minutes. Wow.
And I think so far the success that the Vulcans had in that first quarter was shutting Al Husseini down. Has 0 points in this game, which coming into this game when we talked about it a little bit earlier was surprising because, like I said, she has been the difference maker, and you saw it right there, and leads the team in every statistical category for a reason because she is just that good. And Lloyd going to get called for the over and back. So first turnover of the second quarter will go to the Vulcans.
I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, it happens. We bowl.
That back foot just went a little bit too far back.
Too far. It happens.
Now Hussein able to find Sims in the corner, gets it back out to Boggs. Now Mullen driving, gets it over to Boggs once again, trying to find Al Husseini outside. Going to get called for the travel. So both teams just trading turnovers here.
You know, the Vulcans' defensive spacing, they're just so tight within the paint that no passes are even being allowed, and Edinboro's being forced to play a perimeter game that I don't think they were ready for.
Lloyd able to find Harrington. Harrington pump fake. Thought about the mid-range shot. Is able to find Fink instead. Fink able to dump it down low to Harris. Harris working underneath the basket, and she's going to get called for the travel.
It's unfortunate. You see she was looking for the outlet pass, but she's just not able to make it. Accidentally puts another foot forward. I know my English words, John. I swear.
Yeah, we know how to talk sometimes. 9:17 left to play here in the first half. Vulcans up by 6. Great move by Brinson to create some space. Going to get fouled. I believe that one will stay on the floor. So Edinboro going to inbound just underneath the basket. That'll be Jordan Smith's first foul.
And that's another part of this game that's going to be really huge is the fact they just need to keep the fouls low. As you see, the ball's going to get inbounded and kicked almost right out of side bounds again.
Yeah, Mullen trying to inbound that one, trying to find Boggs underneath, but great job by Lloyd to just get in between and knock that one out of bounds. So the Fighting Scots looking to figure it out. Actually, they're going to say that came off of Boggs, so it's going to be another turnover. This time the Vulcans are going to be able to come on the better end of it. Lloyd able to find Fink on the far side, trying to break this high pressure that the Fighting Scots are playing on these inbound passes. Lloyd, once again, guarded by Al Husseini. Takes the screen from Harris, gets it back to Harris. Harris trying to find Fink. It's going to end up in the hands of Harrington on the other side. Harrington inside to Harris. Her shot no good. Rebounded by Brinson.
I mean, you're seeing Edinboro is now starting to shut down Sarah Lloyd, and she's the playmaker of this offense. She's cutting down everything.
Al Husseini, her shot no good. Foul called on the rebound attempt. I believe this one will go against the Vulcans. And with that, both teams going to make some substitutions. That's Harris's second, so she's going to come out. Into the game will come number 3, Alicia Young. Be her first appearance of the game here for the Vulcans. It's going to be Mullen once again to inbound. Able to get it into Sims. Back to Mullen in the corner, fakes the shot. Mullen working right underneath the basket. Her shot hits the underneath of the rim, but the pass by Fink just goes in between the legs of Lloyd out of bounds.
And you can see Raja was a bit upset with herself after that. She was just going for a simple bounce pass, but I don't think Sarah was ready for it.
Not the cleanest of starts from either team here to start the second quarter.
I mean, it's still a very close game. I still think it's very physical. Both defenses are playing extremely well. I just think both teams need to click on their offense.
Husseini now kicks it into the corner. Husseini, nice pass, dumped it down inside to Borelli, and Borelli able to finish. Cuts the lead for the Vulcans now down to 4. And Lloyd's pass gets stolen away and finished once again. So just like that, the lead to 2.
The ball's going to go out of bounds here, and I think it's going to be called against Edinboro.
That time the finish by Suman. Edinboro continuing this high pressure, able to make it work, but Lloyd able to get past it, able to cross the half court. Lloyd getting trapped here, able to find Fink. Vulcans have numbers inside. Smith down low. Her shot going to get found on the way up. It's going to get stuck in between the rim and the backboard.
Maybe we can get our cameraman on camera 3 right there. Yeah. Maybe we can get him down there. He's close enough. Yeah, see, you're gonna have to get a stick to get it down. Yeah, they got the mop.
Shot no good.
Shot no good now.
I feel like if that went in, that should have counted as the N1. If Smith.
Yeah, just kind of right. Because the ball was still in motion, right?
I mean, it never hit the ground, so.
Never hit the ground, yeah. So I don't see why it wouldn't count.
Smith at the line, able to knock down the first one.
And you see the pressure from Edinboro's defense is now really starting to hit Cal. I mean, they're running the full court scheme that's almost completely stopping them in Cal's own defensive zone.
Smith able to make the pair, brings the lead back to 4 for the Vulcans. Just over 8 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. The Vulcans looking to get a stop. Borelli able to get it over to Sims. Sims driving inside. Her shot no good. Going to get fouled on the way up. By that time, he's going to go against Young, so Sims will head to the line.
And you see some of what's the word I'm looking for here? Not the motivation, but some of the energy in this game is more shifting towards Edinboro. And I saw Cal had a really big, energetic first half. And so far in the second half, I don't want to say they've come out with a stinker, but Edinboro has definitely come out with a lot more energy, and they're playing with it.
Sims able to knock down the first one. On the season shooting 77% from the line. 6 points on the afternoon for her already.
6 more points than I'll ever have.
That's absolutely true. Make it 7 now. She's able to knock down both. Cuts the lead to 2, 22-20. Substitutions made by the Fighting Scots. 7:48 left to play here in the second quarter. And the Fighting Scots continue with this high-pressure defense. Lloyd in a little bit of trouble here. Able to find Young. Harrington in the corner for 3. Just off the mark, but Fink able to get the board. Fink, nice pass inside to Young. Young shot, able to get it to go. Leaning, able to finish, and Alicia Young will head to the line.
And you see that one did count because it didn't get stuck on the rim.
Did not get stuck.
So she won't get that and one. Or maybe she will. We'll see in a second here, but
she has a chance.
We won't have to bring the mop out again.
Alicia Young 0 for 2 on the season from the free throw line, so looking to knock down her first of the year.
Better not curse her.
And I did not. Able to knock it down. Converts a three-point play.
That got me for a second. I thought you did it.
Went from 0% free throw percentage to 33. Just under 7.5 to play. Vulcans up by 5. Sims from 3. That one rings around the rim, no good. And Young able to pull on the board. Lloyd able to find Young underneath once again. Great pass, and Young able to knock it down. 7-point lead restored for the Vulcans.
You see coming out of that half-court trap, it seemed like Edinboro didn't know who to cover after they got off Lloyd.
Suman shot no good, and Fink able to come up with the rebound. Still playing this full-court pressure. No foul called as the Fighting Scot went to the ground. Harrington working way inside. Shot out high off the glass, no good, but fouled on her way up. So Hallie Harrington now has her chance to go to the line.
As I mentioned, I think the fouls are really going to play a key part in this game with all the physicality going on.
I think something that you mentioned a little bit earlier was that a lot of this offense a lot of the Vulcan offense success has come from Sierra Lloyd and her ability to play make. So we've seen on these full court presses, them especially target Lloyd, trying to force her into turnovers and get the ball out of her hands. But the Vulcans, the last couple of possessions, have found very good success at breaking that and able to find other players in this offense to make plays.
I mean, it's the mark of a successful team is that they're able to break these full court defenses that are just completely blocking them off. And, you know, Sierra Lloyd's such an important part of this offense, as I mentioned. She's able to put that ball anywhere, and she's able to command this offense. And having her out of that defensive scheme is really going to help them and keep them in the game.
Harrington makes both. Fighting Scots going the other way. Sims with the mid-range jumper off the mark, no good. Young able to pull in the board, doing well in the minutes she's been giving here so far. Lloyd just slowing things down. 6:30 left to play. Vulcans up by 9. Biggest lead of the game for either team. Looking to extend it even further. Lloyd and Harrington play give and go. Lloyd with the ball once again, able to find Fink inside. Fink with the right-hand shot off the glass once again, and Vulcans with 11-point lead now.
I mean, you just can't leave Raja Fink in the paint just with one person. You put 2 on her, that's the best chance you'll have. If she gets one person, she'll easily back them down and just score with the hook.
Boggs left wide open from 3. Her shot off the mark, no good. One thing to say about Fink, just so good going, especially going towards her right. That right hand of hers, and when she's driving towards her right, she's able to knock down pretty much every single shot that goes her way. Fink now with the ball once again. Contact made, but able to knock down the shot from the free throw line. Timeout called by Edinboro, and they need it, down by 13 now.
I mean, it's just, she's a game changer. You can't leave her open on the offense. You can't leave her covered on the offense. You need to find a way to foul, get her into foul trouble and get her out of the game, because no matter what, if she's on the court, she's going to change that game.
9 points on the afternoon for her. While we have a second, we take a look at the PSAC West standings, and tight towards the top.
I mean, yeah, that's why we mentioned this is a very important game. California and Edinboro both matching each other's in-conference records at 5-2. Cal at 9-4, Edinboro at 8-4. Even though it's unlikely they'll catch back up to IUP and Gannon, both leading the conference play, with IUP leading at 6-1 and Gannon at 5-2. Below them, you got Pitt Johnstown also at 5-2 with an 8-5 record. Mercyhurst with a 4-3 in-conference record. Seton Hill and Slippery Rock both sharing a 3-4 in-conference record, and Clarion rounding at the bottom with a 2-5 record in conference, 2-10 on the season.
Just a huge chunk of teams in the middle. Like you said, IUP atop at 6-1, and then I believe 4 or 5 at 5-2. So it's contentious.
It's a very key matchup here tonight. And if you're California, you hope you win this game. You bring momentum into the rest of the season. Hopefully, you look at a tournament berth.
I mean, coming into the season, that was expected of the Vulcans. The preseason polls predicted them to be first in the conference, but coming down to a couple of injuries and some bad play, the Vulcans find themselves down, I believe, in 3rd now, but still well within their reach to reach that top spot in the conference.
I mean, they're still first in my heart. No matter what any conference ranking says, they will always be number 1 in my heart. If I have one. That is to be determined.
5:40 left to play here in the second quarter. I had no idea how to go off. Well, we're going to get back into the game.
Got to keep things entertaining, John.
Oh, absolutely. Suman working inside. Her shot no good. Jump ball called as Young able to pull on the board. Possession arrow favors the Fighting Scots, so they'll get the ball back, inbounding just underneath the basket.
You see Harrington got her hands in there too, tied the ball up, not able to get it directly into anybody.
Gonna be Jarrett. The Fighting Scott to inbound for. Able to find Suman outside. This one nearly loses the handle and gets it back to Jarrett. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Jarrett, nice spin move to work her way inside. Jarrett shot off the glass. She needed to finish that after the move she made.
Yeah, beautiful work in the paint there.
Fink nearly gets her inbound pass stolen away, trying to fight Harrington. Sims poked that one out of play.
That completely caught me off guard. My brain kind of shut off. I'm not even going to lie.
It happens. Fighting Scots still with this full court pressure. The Vulcans, after that timeout, seemingly have found a way to deal with it for the moment. Lloyd able to find Young inside. Young looking for his home, able to find Harrington outside. Harrington pulls up from 3. Her shot a little bit too short, and Sims able to pull on the board.
It was just a little too short on there, but I think they got I think they got it for the rest of the game.
Sims working right inside. Great drive by Sims, able to finish at the glass. Cuts the lead now back to single digits, 9-point game.
And it's something as California, you can't let Edinboro go on a run. You have a good lead right now, and you just need to keep it up. As we mentioned, this is a very important game.
You need to finish out this quarter strong. Vulcans looking to answer back. Lloyd works her way inside. Decides to take the mid-range jumper, but took a few too many steps. Going to get called for the travel.
As you see there, she was just looking for the open. She was just looking for the open person. Simply just takes another extra step. Gets called for the travel.
Unfortunate by Sierra Lloyd. Just under 4.5 to play. Sims on the far side, guarded by Smith. Brings it back out to half court. Sims. Nice hesitation move. Pull-up jumper. Her shot a little bit too short as well. Fighting for the rebound. It's going to be Boggs coming up with it. Mullen. Now, Vulcan's bench screaming for a travel call. No whistle. No call is made. It's going to be Jarrett on the far side, able to find Suman. Suman cross-court pass to Mullen. Mullen working right inside. Her shot high off the glass, no good. Lloyd able to come up with the rebound.
That's what I mentioned. Cal is absolutely forcing Edinboro to play a perimeter game that they are not ready for.
Harrington in the corner for a three, and Harrington nothing but net. Able to knock that one down. Brings the lead back to double digits, 12-point game.
It's a clean three-pointer. Tyler Harrington absolutely knocked it down. You see Sierra Lloyd throwing that pass beautifully right to the dot.
Mullen to answer back. Her shot no good. Lloyd able to pull on the board once again. Lloyd uncontested, works her way into the paint. Shot high off the glass, no good. Fink over three bodies, able to get the offensive board. And Harrington once again for three. That time too strong, but Fink once again comes up with the offensive rebound. Sierra Lloyd's chance for a three-pointer. That one off the mark, but Smith able to get the offensive board, able to find Fink inside. Fink shot no good, gets her own board. Fink again, no good. And finally, the Fighting Scots are able to get a rebound.
I mean, what an offensive sequence there. You saw Sierra Lloyd actually backed up to get that three-pointer, almost like watching like little baby steps to make sure she gets back there. And Raja Fink absolutely able to grab that board down. And she gets beaten in the paint there. River Current, she's still able to grab the board. Amazing play.
Beautiful post work by Boggs down low, but just couldn't finish the shot.
It's not easy to back down a defender like that, especially to beat them in the post.
Lloyd. Nice pass to find Young, and Young able to finish. Looks off the defender and finds Young cutting towards the basket. 14-point lead for the Vulcans and 7 points on the game for Alicia Young.
I mean, what was that pass? That was crazy. I can't believe it. I cannot believe what Sierra Lloyd is doing right now. She is not human.
Nice ball movement, and Sims in the corner for three, able to knock that one down. The Vulcans need to be careful. Like I said, just under 2 minutes to play. Need to finish the quarter strong, but Lloyd turns the ball over. Sims going the other way. The shot's going to get made, plus the foul. Lloyd is a little bit upset about that, and some fans of the Fighting Scots just underneath of us happy about that. So Haley Sims will go to the line to try to convert the three-point play.
Yeah, Sierra looked absolutely gassed on that play. I don't even think she was going to be able to get back to that. I mean, that's going to happen in this very physical game. You're going to get gas, and, you know, things happen.
Cuts the lead now back down to single digits. 14 points already in the game for Haley Sims.
I mean, it's the perimeter play. She's been able to make plays from the perimeter. It's what Cal's been forcing them to do.
Sims able to knock down the free throw. 30 points on the afternoon for the Fighting Scots. Half of them in the pocket of Haley Sims as she's going to check out of the game. 8-point lead for the Vulcans. 1:45 left to play. Harrington's pass gets tipped out of bounds. Nearly ends up in the locker room in the tunnel on the far side.
And they're ready to stop like a goal. Wrong sport here.
Fink able to find Harrington on the inbound pass. Going to get caught on her way crossing half court. That foul is going to go against number 20, Sophia O'Hammer. The junior Swedish guard. Look at that. That's a long name. There's a J in there. It's not even pronounced.
You can try. Good luck.
All those Nordic people. And a shout out. Harrington's pass stolen away by Mullen. Mullen able to work out of the trap. Pass down low just too far. out of the reach, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
I mean, that was great pickup defense on Cal's side there. They forced the ball to be moved quicker than Edinboro was ready for, and it forces it out of bounds, getting them possession back with 1 minute 27 left.
Trying to find Borelli underneath. And once again, the inbound pass nearly stolen away. This high pressure on the inbounds pass has been something that the Vulcans were able to deal with earlier, but once Lloyd checked out of the game, it's been a bit more of a struggle. Fink able to find Gilliard on the inbound pass. And Raja Fink. 3-on-2, the Vulcans have the other way, but Fink just going to bring it out and slow things down. Setting a double team her way. Fink finally able to get it out, finding Harrington. Harrington calling everyone away under pressure once again. There's going to be a foul made. That time it's going to get to Mullen as she got her hands on Harrington, and that's going to be the team's 5th of the quarter. So Harrington's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
I mean, Edinboro's defense was starting to be they were starting to suffocate Hallie Harrington there, and just too handsy. Doesn't work.
A little bit too handsy.
Too handsy.
Our friend Johnny likes to say, got her hand caught in the cookie jar.
Don't quote Johnny.
That time.
Don't quote Johnny.
Harrington misses the first one.
They'll hear enough of Johnny after this game.
You hear enough of Johnny here in 1 minute and 7 seconds. We go to the halftime show. Harrington able to knock down the ladder. 9-point game. Just over a minute left to play here in the first half. Mullen on the ball. Able to get it over to Gentle. Gentle's pass inside just too far, out of the reach of Borelli. Another turnover. And a few more substitutions made for the Fighting Scots with 53 seconds left to play.
I mean, 53 seconds, down 9. I mean, Edinboro has to be able to force something here to at least cut that lead down and get some more momentum coming for them into the halftime.
So Lloyd checks back into the game for the Vulcans for the last couple of seconds to round out this first half. In the pass, trying to find Harrington, gets tipped out of bounds by Borelli.
And we'll advance the ball a few yards.
And give a different angle to inbound now instead of being at the baseline.
You got to switch it up every now and then.
Able to find Lloyd. Lloyd getting double teamed, but just so quick, able to break away from it. Lloyd able to find Fink inside. Fink driving, right-hand shot, no good. Rebounded by Mullen. About an 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here for the Fighting Scots, so they will need to get a shot off before the end of the quarter.
And they're just going to kill time here, making sure they get the clock down as little as possible so California does not get an offensive possession worthwhile.
Sims the hot hand with the ball. Double screen set for her. Shot block. Great job by Young to come out and meet it. Vulcan's going the other way, and Lloyd just dribbles it off of her foot, but great job by Smith to keep it alive. 8 seconds left for the Vulcans. One final shot here to end the quarter. Lloyd, 3 at the buzzer. Shot no good, and that'll be the end of the first half here in the Convocation Center. California 39, Edinboro 30. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Network, and 91.9 FM WCAL, the Vulcan Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the halftime show. Here I'm John Sakaguchi, joining the special guest as coming down from all the way from cold, very cold IUP, Peyton Trollinger. Peyton, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be here at the Convocation Center here in beautiful California, Pennsylvania, back to where it all started here. I'm excited to be here with you, Johnny.
It's been a while since we got to do this, but we got a lot to talk about out a little bit of time. So let's take a look at the schedule today. Obviously, we have of the game here in Edinboro and Cal. And then we have UPJ versus Clarion, Slippery Rock versus Seton Hill, IUPE versus Gannon, which we're keeping an eye on that one. We'll talk about the scores here in a minute. And over on the east side of things, we have Bloomsburg at East Stroudsburg, Millersville playing host to Kutztown, Mansfield hosting Lock Haven, and Shippensburg and Westchester, and then a crossover matchup between Shepherd and Mercyhurst, which we'll talk about more of those later. But Peyton, give us a rundown of the standings right now. I'll see what we got going on. I know a little bit of shuffling happened last weekend, and as Slippery Rock fell to Cal. So what do we got?
All right, well, we'll start it off here with the East. So you got Shippensburg at top of the conference record of 6-1, overall record of 11-2. They've been killing it over there on the east side. Right below them is East Stroudsburg, Westchester, Lock Haven, and Kutztown, all tied with a conference record of 4-3. East Stroudsburg with an 8-5 record. Westchester 7-6. Lock Haven at that 500, 6-6 mark, and Kutztown just under 500, 6-7. Millersville with a conference record of 3-4 and an overall record of 8-5. And then to round out the bottom three, you got Bloomsburg and Mansfield at 0-7 in the conference, 2-9 and 1-10 respectively. And Shepherd down at the bottom, 0-8 and 0-13, have yet to win a game, but it's not looking too bad for them whenever it comes to the score, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, get a little bit more local here in the PSAC West. Of course, my team, the IUP Crimson Hawks, coasting up at top at 6-1, 11-1 in the conference. Just lost their last game against the Mercyhurst Lakers, and that one was a good one, Johnny. I hate that you had to miss that one. Gannon right there at the bottom, 5-2, 13-2 overall. Those two are playing right now. Cal U, 5-2 in the conference, 9-4 overall. Playing Edinboro, 5-2 in the conference, 8-4 overall. Pitt Johnstown, 5-2 in the conference, 8-5 overall. Mercyhurst, who surprisingly isn't higher up on this list, they're 5-3, 10-5 overall. Then Seton Hill, 3-4 in the conference, 10-6 overall record, not doing too bad. Slippery Rock, 3-4 in the conference as well, 8-5 overall. And Clarion at the bottom, 2-5 in the conference, 2-10 overall.
Yeah, so it's been in quite a struggle all throughout the PSAC. And when I say, hey, this is one of the toughest conferences to play in, and I'm not saying that because, Peyton, you and I have watched a lot of this basketball but against other teams in the other conferences when they play in region play or just non-conference opponents in general. We've seen it. The PSAC teams give those other opponents, it's a hard time. Which is why I say whoever comes out of this one is going to usually end up in the NCAA tournament. But let's take a look at some of the scores. Starting off in the East, just getting started over in the third quarter, Lock Haven and Mansfield. Lock Haven leads that one 32-26. And then the game we're keeping an eye on right now, and this one's an important one, folks. IUP trails at halftime, 46-29 to Gannon. I am stunned at that one.
Yeah,
honestly, Peyton.
I'm personally shocked too. I think it's just because the Crimson Hawks are coming off that loss against Mercyhurst, and they're on a little bit of a losing streak. They lost the one, so it's looking like it's going to be two, but they're going to have to get their things together here. They're just not playing how I'm used to seeing them.
It's because you're here tonight.
This is very true, but whenever it comes to the IUP squad, it's not just one player putting in all the work. All of them are usually doing that. And it's not looking like off of the stats here that they're putting in that kind of a team effort we're used to seeing. But going on to a couple more games here. Another game out of the East. This one's a little bit closer, and both kind of at the top here. Shippensburg versus Westchester. The Golden Rams, or Westchester, having that lead 39-37 into the third quarter. Jumping back to the West. The Rock having the lead over the Seton Hill Griffins, 34-32 to start the third quarter. UPJ has surprised a lot of people, especially the men's team, but in the women's, they lead Clarion 26-23. Bloomsburg leading over East Stroudsburg, which this one's could be an upset right here.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg, we know, is one of the tougher teams out in that Eastern Conference or Eastern Division of the PSAC. We saw it earlier this year when they came and took on California. There was a dogfight in both the women's and men's matchup. But East Stroudsburg are looking like they're going to get upset. Moving on to the next one, Millersville having a surprise lead going into halftime, 24-23 over Kutztown right now.
And then, of course, tonight, 39-30, Cal U having the lead over Edinboro. Johnny, I know you haven't been on the call, but you got a little bit of a closer view. What are you noticing so far about this Vulcans team?
I will say that it's for the Vulcans, and you and I have talked about it before last year, this year, or it's the same story as always. Coach Strong on playing that trap, forcing the turnovers, that fast break action down there, and I saw it down on the floor running camera 3. And, of course, the IUP transfer, Raja Fink, having a little bit of a rough night tonight, but I will say this, Alicia Young, number 3 on your scorecard tonight, having a bit of a field day, leading all scorers on the floor, all active scorers right now. And I'll talk about those stats here in a second. Let's take a look, Peyton. We got halftime stats to talk about. Starting off, California shooting 42% from the field on the afternoon, or evening, I should say, excuse me, where Edinboro is shooting 34%, and I think a lot of that had to do with the rough time they had there at the end of the court, right there before the end of the first quarter, where it looks like someone put a lid on the basket before Edinboro, where they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn door, or I hate to say it, but that's what had happened. And then we go 0-2 from three-point land. Edinboro 2 of 11, California 2 of 8. So 25% for the Vulcans, 18% for Edinboro. Free throw lines, and Edinboro is leading in that department, 4 for 4 on the night, 8, and then California 9 of 12, 75%. So not a bad night from the charity stripe for the Vulcans. Rebounds, however, the Vulcans lead that department 28-15, and especially this one is what gets me here, Peyton, is the offensive rebounds, as the Vulcans have 11-6 in the offensive rebound category. On the defensive boards, the Vulcans have 17-9 in that one. Also, it should be noted, on the turnover side, California turning the ball over 11 times, which is unlike Coach Strom's team to see. And then 8 turnovers for the Fighting Scots. It's blocks. California had 3, and they were all very good blocks. If you saw the highlights earlier, California stole the ball twice and also had it stolen away from them 6 times during the first half. Along with another one to keep an eye on is points off the bench. Edinboro leads that one 10-7, but we've seen it all night as the Fighting Scots just kind of had a bit of a carousel going on here as both teams. We know Coach Strom doesn't usually go too deep in the bench, 1 or 2 deep, where Edinboro's been making full sail changes tonight.
Yeah, but one thing I really have been noticing is that Cal U's playing a very aggressive in the paint kind of strategy. You know, I've noticed it just sitting up here, and you were mentioning a little earlier, they just keep finding Harris there in the paint, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. She's usually just wide open, sitting in the paint, or Fink will usually, it's either Fink or Harris that'll get those points for the Vulcans in the paint, and like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Edinboro was starting to catch on there for a little bit, but it seems to be working very well for California tonight.
I think it should also be mentioned, Jordan Smith started to get hot there on the defensive side of the game, and towards the end of the half there, and we saw Sierra Lloyd still looking to get it back into that scoring touch that we saw her with last year. Here already has 5 points on the night, so through the first half, it's still a young night for her.
Yeah, no, I don't have any concerns with Sierra Lloyd. You know, we've both seen her play. She's a star-studded player for this Vulcan squad here, and, you know, she just has that kind of leadership about her, and she'll always find some type of way between her and Harrington to lead this team to victory.
And it's going to be interesting to see how things play out here in the second half. Teams are going to flip sides, and looks like it's going to be the same aim 5 at the start of the game. Back out on the floor or so. Harris, Young, Smith, Harrod, Lloyd, and Fink on the floor to start the second half.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting start to the third quarter here in fourth quarter. I think Edinboro is not done yet. They're going to definitely start pushing the floor a little bit more and try to get a little bit more aggressive to try to close that 9-point gap and get back into this contest here. And I think they got the star power to do it, but the Vulcans, they've really been showing out tonight and just been kind of just out-muscling the opponent so far. So if Edinboro wants to get back in this game, they're really going to have to just be more aggressive.
Yeah, I agree. And for the Vulcans, I think in the second half, like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I do think they're going to try to tighten up things. So I don't want to be surprised if things get tightened up. So try to be a little more conservative with the basketball. But that's going to do it for the halftime show. Going to turn things back over to John Sabe and Nate Kutz. It's here on CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC network.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center for the start of the second half between California and Edinboro. Great play by the Vulcans there in that second quarter. They merged from half with a 9-point lead, 39-30. We do have some halftime stats to talk about, so we can go over that here in a little bit. Nate, what do we have?
I mean, so far leading the team in points right now is Raja Fink with a 9 total. Am I reading that right? Yeah, 9 total points and 9 total rebounds, 6 on the offensive side. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it is not easy to get 6 offensive rebounds, especially in one half. Absolutely crazy. And you see coming off of the Vulcans as well, Alicia Harris scoring 5 points as well. And for the Edinboro Scots, 4 players, all tied for 2 points leading the team so far. That is Belly Borelli, Ashton Boggs, Bailey Brinson, and Rana El-Saini.
The Vulcans so far are doing a fantastic job at limiting El-Husseini's offensive contributions. 0 for 5 from the field. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover for her, including 2 steals. It's been Haley Sims who's been the problem for the Vulcans so far in the afternoon. 15 points for her, 5 for 12 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line. 1 rebound, 2 turnovers, and a steal for her. So the Vulcans have done a good job at limiting El-Husseini, but need to be able to lock up on Sims and limit her in the second half if they want to be able to pull away with the win here.
I mean, it's been a blessing. You lose El-Husseini, not really lose El-Husseini, but she's been locked down for most of the game, and you're able to get that extra scoring coming from Sims. I mean, it's kept you in the game, and it's a very close game so far. Very physical, both defensively minded teams playing great defense, both playing great offense as well.
And coming into this game, the Fighting Scots giving up some of the least amount of points on the defensive end. But the Vulcans started scoring off here in the second half. Lloyd, the nice drive and a nice finish to get the Vulcans to 41.
Yeah, hustle play there. Lloyd actually ends up running right into the basket itself, but able to quickly get back up and get on the defensive side.
Sims gets the ball over to Suman. Now Mullen working inside, nice pass to find Brinson. Brinson working inside, great job by Harris to match Brinson. Can't really tell if that's going to go down as a block or just like a hit of the ball, but nonetheless, great defensive work by Alicia Harris.
I mean, yeah, just throwing your body in the paint, taking that charge. It doesn't get called for a charge, but you get the ball out of bounds, kills the clock a bit more. As you see, they're going to get a shot off there. Just rims out there, and rebound goes to Lloyd.
And a decent little inbounds play there by the Fighting Scots, but nothing comes of it. Harrington on the far side. Gets it back to Lloyd. Lloyd had tons of space, now working her way inside. Her shot a little bit too short, but Smith able to come up with the offensive rebound. Harris gets it over to Smith on the near side. Smith looking for some help. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Smith works her way into the paint. Going to go down to the ground. The ball's going to end up going out of bounds for a turnover for the Vulcans.
I mean, yeah, you see there, early on in the game, Edinboro was playing very physical in the paint. As you see, they got 5 fouls in the first quarter alone, actually maybe 6 if I'm correct. So, I mean, they're just updating their defense, if you will, and, you know, keeping that physicality out of it while still maintaining to keep their bodies in the way so they're not drawing any fouls.
Yeah, 10 fouls in the first half for the Fighting Scots. So something to keep an eye on is maybe some foul trouble as the game goes down. El Husseini, her three-pointer no good, still struggling from the field. And the rebound attempt gets knocked out of bounds by Brinson, so the Vulcans are actually going to call a foul on Brinson for over and back. It's going to be her third and the team's first of the quarter.
See, nothing stops Raja Fink, though. She's going to keep that smile as a turnover on the Vulcans.
And Harrington's pass gets cut out. Mullen with the mid-range jumper just does not get the shooter's roll there. Harrington had Harris trailing down the court, but trying to find Lloyd. And Borelli is going to come away with the ball and whistle blown, waiting to see. I believe it's going to go against Lloyd.
See there, they tripped over each other, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout now here coming from Edinboro.
Actually, no fouls, going to be a timeout called for the Fighting Scots. So we can take a look at some highlights from the first couple of minutes here.
I mean, you see here with Sierra Lloyd, it's another part of her just amazing offensive tool set. She's not able to just throw herself around and draw a foul and throw herself around in the paint, getting those nice, easy layups. And she's also able to put that ball anywhere on the court and just command the court, almost, if you will, a commander on the battlefield.
And then that little skirmish we saw just there, Borelli able to dive on top of it, knocks Lloyd down, and timeout called by Edinboro. While we have a second, we can take a look once again at the PSAC West standings. IUP still up top, but like I believe Johnny and Peyton talked about during that halftime show, IUP trailing so far in the game against Gannon by a lot again, and looking to emerge with that top spot. And if the result stands here today, the Vulcans will move up to that to tied for that second place position. So could be a lot of changes here in the conference standings after this round of games today.
You just have to put your fingers up and hope that maybe Gannon's able to pull away with that win. So far, that score so far is looking pretty well for Gannon, but you never know. Game's not over until it's over.
You're absolutely right, and the game's still not over here.
No, not at all.
11-point lead for the Vulcans, and we've seen them at times so far in this game just look unstoppable, and we've seen them like we saw at points in that second quarter where it was just sloppy play, turnover after turnover for a few possessions in a row. So the Vulcans need to clean things up here if they want to emerge victorious from this game, and they're going to have to start it now. It's going to be Mullen to inbound for the Fighting Scots. Trying to find Borelli inside, but great hands. Gets that one poked away, and the Vulcans are going to come out victors of that one. It's going to be a turnover against the Fighting Scots.
You see Borelli was not happy about that one. She's still dealing with the ref.
Lloyd able to inbound it, and the way to adjust is bring more people back to try to break that inbounds pass. Nice pass by Lloyd to find Fink. Fink drives inside and finishes that time with the left hand. Double-digit points now for her.
I mean, when Raja gets in the paint, you're not going to stop her unless you put 3 other people on her.
13-point lead back for the Vulcans. Great moves by Mullen, able to get some space. El Husseini working away inside, another great block. That time, Smith able to get up there and reach it. The Vulcans now going the other way. Lloyd gets that one poked out of bounds, going to come off of her. So another turnover for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Sierra not happy about that one. I mean, the suffocating defense of the Vulcans has definitely been felt in volume so far. I mean, that's why the California Vulcans have a 13-point lead right now. They're able to suffocate inside the paint. They're forcing Edinboro to play a perimeter-type game that they were not ready for. But Edinboro so far has fought it off, and they're coming back and keeping this game tight.
It seems like a few times the Vulcans just haven't been able to capitalize off these turnovers or off these missed shots that they get. They just give it right back to the Fighting Scots. As Al Husseini pulls up from 3 and finally gets herself on the board. She's able to knock that one down. Lead now cut to 10 for the Vulcans.
And California needs to be careful. You need to make sure that Al Husseini does not catch hot, and if she does, this is going to be a really dangerous game. It's going to start looking scary.
4 players surrounded Sierra Lloyd there, able to find Fink, and Fink's pass to Harrington. Just if her arms were just a little bit longer, but able to pull that one in, but going to go down as another turnover. And this is what I was talking about. The Vulcans just had these stretches. They had one in that second quarter where it was 3-4 possessions in a row where turnovers, not able to get even a shot off. And once again, we've seen that here, another turnover.
I mean, no basketball team is immortal. It's going to happen. There's going to be stretches and even runs where you're just going to completely zone out on offense, zone out on defense, and it just happens. But it's just how you come back from that and how you come back and handle this adversity. It really defines how a team is.
7:10 left to play here in the third quarter. Vulcans up by 10. 43-33 your score. Wide open under the basket is Borelli. Great find by El Husseini to get the ball to her. And cuts the lead now back to single digits once again.
The ball's actually going to get kicked out of bounds there by Borelli. And it's this inbounding that's really killed the Vulcans, if you ask me. I mean, almost every single time the ball's had to be inbounded, it's just Sierra Lloyd is either able to find it just by an inch or the ball gets kicked out of bounds and it's wasting valuable seconds on the clock.
The Fighting Scots just forcing a ton of pressure, and with that, Lloyd didn't see what she liked, so she called a timeout.
I think it's needed. I think definitely that the Vulcans have been on a bit of a rough stretch here over the past 2 or 3 minutes, and I think just a little bit of time to talk it over is going to be nice.
Yeah, just trying to figure out a game plan coming out of this timeout to try to escape this press. So we take a look at some highlights from the second half so far.
As I mentioned there, Sierra just throwing herself into the paint, able to get that layup there, and same thing with Raja. She just throws her body around in the paint, is able to score at will, mercilessly. No one's even able to stop her. You can see the three-pointer from El Husseini there. Like I mentioned here, we can't let her get hot if you're the Vulcans. I mean, she's a game changer at 5'3". Maybe a little short for basketball standards, but it doesn't mean she can't knock down an open three. You see Borelli in the paint there, wide open shot there. California hoping to come out of this timeout. You see, look at Blaze go. Ooh.
Oh, what's he doing down there?
He's cooking.
He's hitting it.
Look at him go.
Oh,
I wish I could dance like that. I can't do that.
I mean, you could if you tried. You know, I think we can get some practice in.
You know, I think next game we cover it. We'll do a Blaze and me dance off.
Yeah, we'll send you down there. You and him can have a dance battle.
He's going on.
Oh my God, he's killing it.
That's some great camera work there by our cameraman Jonathan Sakaguchi. Ooh, got the arm work in there now too. You go, Blaze. You go. Shout out Blaze the Vulcan. Wow, he's got the moves. I am jealous.
At the forge is Blaze, just cooking it up down there.
He does not burn anything. That man cooks to perfection, as you saw there with those dance moves. And you're hoping that the California Vulcans come out of this timeout cooking perfectly too with some gourmet dishes and just don't want anything to burn.
Yeah, too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Got to fit it in.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
It takes a lot to make a stew.
To inbound the ball. Vulcan's able to do so. Smith gets caught with the double team. That pass is going to end up coming off of her as Borelli and Mullen trap her in the corner. And once again, the Vulcans just unable to have an answer to this pressure that the Fighting Scots have had on them on these inbound passes.
And this is where the defense really needs to come up, is that you may not get the calls that you want, so you're just hoping that your defense could step in here and be able to block anything that comes towards them.
And the Vulcans need to get a stop here on defense. It's going to be El Husseini on the ball. Gets it back out to Sims. Now Mullen on the far side. El Husseini once again dumps down inside for Borelli. Borelli looking to go to work. One extra pass to find El Husseini for three. Her shot no good, and Lloyd emerges with the rebound. Foul going to be called this time. I believe it's going to go against El Husseini. It's going to be her third.
That's something you need to watch out for, is that even though she may have been shut down so far this game, you can't let somebody who can be as hot as she can just come out of the game this early on.
The Vulcans able to escape from the pressure that time. Ball gets poked away out of the hands of Lloyd into the bench of the Vulcans. El Husseini going to come out of the game. Going to try to preserve her as long as possible. Like you said, hasn't been the greatest game for her, but just a few moments is all she needs as Lloyd works her way into the paint. And they call for the travel as she tried to stop on that drive, but just kind of drug her pivot foot along with her.
Yeah, you saw the momentum has definitely started to shift. I thought in the first half the momentum started to shift, but really now you're starting to see now Edinboro has got that energy. Their bench has started to light up, and you really got to watch out if you're the Vulcans here, because this game might start to really be changing.
Yeah, the Vulcans have not had a point here in a couple of minutes. Nearly gets that one stolen away. Mullen Able to get it to Sims. Sims, nice pass inside to find Borelli. Borelli met by a wall, but given some space. Nice shot, but great job by Harris to meet her. Another crucial block, another good stop, but the Vulcans need to capitalize, need to at least get a shot off here in this possession.
I mean, yeah, the physicality's paying off. You get their open pass to Harrington. She's going to take that three, and that's going to bank off the rim. That's something that the Vulcans really needed.
You know, Harrington able to make the shot, but a good look nonetheless, and the Vulcans will take those because the shots will go down eventually. Borelli working inside. Shot high off the glass, no good. Fink pulls in another board. That'll be her 10th, I believe, so double digits for points in the sixth. Another double-double for Raja Fink as she has the ball going the other way. Fink inside. Going to get called for the travel once again. Another turnover.
I see Sierra Lloyd not happy about that. It's these calls have been getting the Vulcans all night or evening long, and it's going to kill them in the long run. I mean, with 5 minutes left here in the third period, you're hoping that maybe they can continue their defensive strength and maybe pull in some offensive points as well.
There was a chance for the Vulcans to pull away a little bit, but just has not been the moments that they've needed. Just like sloppy mistakes as Sims works away inside, and they fall to the ground, and a charge going to be called.
I see Coach not happy about that. She is absolutely yelling at the ref. She is not happy with that.
Yeah, because it seems like Sims kind of just tripped on her way down, but they're going to call her for the offensive foul, and like you said, Coach Wheeler for the Fighting Scots not happy about that one. Fink able to break the press. Lloyd just trying to get things under control here. The Vulcans looking for a point.
And Sierra not happy. She's trying to move the offense to get her closer to the lane. Ball's going to go out to Harrington now.
Harrington with the mid-range jumper. Shot no good. Whistle blown. I believe foul will be called, and almost another turnover. Lloyd's pass was trying to find Harris, but ended up in the hands of Harrington, and it's going to be Harris's third foul, and she's going to come out of the game. Alicia Young is going to come back into the game, and the Vulcans just still have not been able to pull away. 4:30 left to play here in the third quarter.
And you can tell the offensive drought is now starting to affect both teams on both ends of the ball. Both teams starting to look a little weak and tired here now.
Nice drive by Murphy to get inside, or excuse me, that was Suman. Suman's shot no good, but it's going to get fouled on her way up. So she's going to head to the line. A foul on Young. That'll be her second, and the team's second of the quarter. And coming out of half, the Vulcans had a 9-point lead. It's only an 8-point lead now, so cut the lead down by 1, but it just seems so lopsided in terms, like you said, the momentum has definitely swung in the favor of the Fighting Scots as Mullen able to knock down the first free throw.
I mean, it's the full court press that Edinboro has been running, absolutely shutting down Sierra Lloyd. We talked about it earlier. Sierra is the playmaker of this offense. She commands everything, and if you're able to shut her down, this offense, I don't want to say shuts down with it, but it definitely takes a toll.
Harrington gets it back to Lloyd. Lead cut to 7 for the Vulcans. Lloyd works away inside, mid-range shot, no good, and the Vulcan offense just seems kind of just lost the wind in its sails as El Husseini and Sims go the other way. Nice extra pass to find Suman in the corner for 3, shot no good. Offensive board brought in, shot no good as well. That time Brinson missed, and the Vulcans able to get the rebound. Fink, nice pass. One extra pass to find Harrington in the corner for 3, and Hallie Harrington finally is able to knock on the door and finish that one.
I mean, yeah, the Vulcans needed that. You were seeing they were taking a definitely a hit on the defensive side with all the energy going from the other side, as you see. Foul called here, and it looks like that's going to be against Edinboro.
Yeah, I think fighting for that rebound underneath as Suman tried to answer back. That one's going to be against Brinson. It's going to be her 4th. So Brinson's going to head to the bench. It doesn't have a point today, but just such a big presence underneath, and fighting for those boards with Raja Fink has taken a toll on her. So she's going to head to the bench.
I mean, that's what happens when you're up against somebody as lanky as Raja Fink. She has such a big body frame that she's just able to force you into fouls that even you know as a player you can't make.
Harrington from 3 again. That shot no good. El Husseini able to pull in the rebound. Does have numbers the other way, able to find Sims. Sims dumps it inside to Borelli. Borelli trying to go to work, but great job by Fink to just get a hand on the ball Forces a jump ball to be called. A possession error this time favors the Fighting Scots, but another great defensive play by Raja Fink.
Yeah, I thought that was actually going to be a travel call there for a second. It looks like Vulcans are fighting for that.
Yeah, Coach Strom has made her way onto the court to try to get that travel call made, but no.
Referee was not having it.
Not having it at all. El Husseini on the drive. Floater, no good. Rebound batted around, ends up in the hands of Harris. And Harris fell to the ground. Travel wanted to be called by the Fighting Scots, but they get the ball back anyway. It's going to be Mullen. Gets it out of El Husseini. Cross-court pass. Now back in the hands of El Husseini once again. Just slowing things down a little bit. Mullen driving, gets it out to Sims. Sims for the deep 2. That one off the mark. El Husseini pulls in the offensive board. Able to find Sims underneath, and Sims able to make the layup at the basket.
And you now break this game down, back down to an 8-point game, keeping this game a lot closer.
Lloyd, double team, tries to cross-court heave, and El Husseini able to break it up.
That's a lucky play on there, Sierra Lloyd. She's just trying to get the ball out so she doesn't lose possession, getting pushed out of bounds. Just lucky that El Husseini was able to touch that, and the Vulcans retain possessions. You see Raja Fink there is going to inbound it again.
I think it's crazy, though, because we look at Sierra Lloyd and we think that she's not the tallest guard we've ever seen, but she stands at 5'7".
I mean, yeah, compared to a lot of the other girls here in the PSAC, Raja Fink, maybe three-pointer there. Nope, that's going to look like a long 2, but able to get the rebound and 1. Going to go for that free throw, too.
Alicia Young able to pull on that offensive board, and foul going to be called underneath. And I think the referee blew it off. Luckily, because I thought for a second that he blew off the basket, or he did. He blew off the basket, but nonetheless, Young will go to the line and shoot 2.
Thought I figured at first.
What could have been an and 1 play will turn into 2 free throws as Young able to make the first. 8 points on the afternoon for her. So great showing from Alicia Young off the bench here for the Vulcans. Not something that we've seen a whole lot coming into this game, but has definitely stepped up big time here in this one as she's not able to make the second.
I mean, that's what you need in one of these tight contested games. You need somebody who's able to come off the bench. 3-pointer here, bricked it on the glass. Going to be a foul. Looks like Raja Fink got too handsy. The ball is going to retain to the Edinboro Scots.
Yeah, great job by Borelli to pull on that rebound and just use her body to just push away Fink, and Fink got caught up in there. It'll be her first foul, her second foul, the team's third of the quarter. Vulcans with a 9-point lead. Sims looking to cut into that. Nice pass underneath to find Borelli. Borelli kicks it back out to Mullen for a 3. That one off the mark, no good. Foul called on the floor.
Looks like it's going to be an over the back over Sims. Got to be careful of the fouls now here. Vulcans up to 4 fouls now to Edinboro's 5. You can't get into that 5 and put them into the bonus in a close game like this.
That one will go against Young. That'll be her 3rd and the team's 4th, like you said. Borelli receives the inbound pass, trying to back down Fink. Borelli with the right-hand hook shot, way off the mark, but able to get the offensive rebound. Sims for 3. That shot no good. Borelli pulls in that offensive board. El Husseini dumps it down low to Borelli again. Borelli backs down Lloyd. Shot no good. And the ball is going to come off of a Vulcan player out of bounds. I thought maybe it came off of El Husseini's hands, but the Vulcans don't get the call.
That's what I figured. I thought at first it went off El Husseini's hands, but I guess it might have just been tipped by Sierra Lloyd. Referee's making that call there.
Sims inbounds it to El Husseini again, and her shot no good, but Lloyd had to foul on her way up, so Bella Borelli will head to the line and shoot 2.
I mean, 1 minute 22 left here in the third. It's something you don't want to see. 5 fouls now for your Vulcans. Gotta hope they don't commit any more because you don't want to get the Fighting Scots in the bonus right now.
Borelli doing a great job underneath. Just once again, another big-bodied presence, just forcing some problems as she's not able to knock down the first. Borelli second too strong, but Mullen able to pull on the offensive board, and the Fighting Scots get another possession.
That's something that California was absolutely taking down in the first half of this game, but you see now the tide has shifted.
Deep
it looks
3.
like Edinboro is going to take more of those rebounds back.
No good from Sims. And the Vulcans finally get a call their way. Ball tipped out of bounds by the Fighting Scots.
Yeah, at first I thought that ball went out on Sierra.
Yeah, I thought it did too, but
yeah, we all make our
those
mistakes.
Those referees are a little bit closer to the play than we are, so thankfully.
I think our producer Gary Smith could put us on court.
We could be.
You can throw us in some jerseys and we can play some ball.
The Vulcans favored on that inbound pass. Didn't have to go in the baseline. Got a different angle and able to get it under play. Just under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Lloyd on the ball, trying to find Fink inside. Fink able to bring it under control. Her shot no good. Fighting for the offensive board, ends up in the hands of Young. Young finds Harrington from 3. Harrington's shot no good, and with Smith able to get it to Harrington. Fink now inside. Fink's turnaround shot and able to knock it down, and just like that, the lead back to double digits.
I mean, you put Raja Fink in the point or in the paint, it's done. She's gonna score.
About a second maybe difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so one final shot here at the end of the quarter for the Fighting Scots to try to cut into this Vulcan lead. It's going to be El Husseini responsible for running the play here for the Fighting Scots. Deep 3 from her off the rim, no good. Fink is going to come down with the rebound. 1 second. I thought maybe she's going to go for the full court heave. And that'll be the end of the third quarter here in the Convocation Center. California 49, Edinboro 38. Take a quick break. We'll be right back here on CUTV. CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Network, and 91.9 FM. WCAO, the Vulcan Sports Radio Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. But why? My. Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center for the start of the fourth quarter between California and Edinboro. While we have a second, please make sure to follow us on social media on Instagram and Twitter, CUTV, or CUTV PA, CUTV_PA, and Cal Vulcans, to make sure to keep up with every single broadcast that we do here. While we have a minute as well, we can take a look at some highlights from the third quarter. Not many of them, but we do have some highlights.
No, it was a very defensive quarter, if you ask me. And I mean, you don't have to ask me; you just look at that stat sheet. But I mean, yeah, both teams have been playing a very defensive and physical game, and it's taking a toll. You can tell both teams are very tired. Most perimeter shots aren't being knocked down. A lot of the play has been in the paint. That's not always a bad thing. It's creating a tightly contested game. And I mean, if you're California, you need to really push this fourth quarter. You need to win this game if you want to slot yourself into a good standing in the PSAC Western Conference.
And coming into this game, both offenses scoring very high numbers, 78 points per game for the Fighting Scots, 66 for the Vulcans, and both teams nowhere near on track for that number in this game if it continues the way it has been, as Harrington's deep 3 misses and Fink runs out of the paint all the way to the perimeter to pull in that rebound and get another possession for the Vulcans here to start the fourth quarter. Lloyd pass it to Fink inside. Fink going to work. Right-handed hook shot, no good. And fighting for the rebound is going to come off a Fighting Scot. The Vulcans will get another possession here.
I mean, it's Fink's raw athleticism. You see, most of the time she's able to get the ball off of an inbound and just take it up court all by herself if she just wants to. I mean, the way she's able to manipulate the ball and play is absolutely amazing. It looks like that's going to be a travel call.
Yeah, Lloyd able to find Fink on the far side on the inbound, but Fink took one too many steps before she was able to place the ball on the ground. So another turnover for the Vulcans. 9:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter. 11-point lead for the Vulcans. Sims. That's a few crossover moves. Guarded by Fink. Gets it over to El Husseini. El Husseini on the drive. Her shot. Able to finish. Great job taking the contact by Fink as well and able to finish.
Yeah, beautiful ball protection there, too. She's able to get in the paint and keep the ball away from Raja Fink. Keeping the ball and able to get a nice little layup there. Nice and fancy, too.
Absolutely, 5 points for her. Lloyd cross-court pass, able to find Smith in the corner for 3, and Jordan Smith able to knock that one down. I haven't heard her name for a while, but come up big with that 3-point shot. 12-point lead restored for the Vulcans.
Yeah, that's something you really need early on in this period, is to get some momentum coming your way, especially after that dry third period.
El Husseini's pass ends up off of Fink. a whistle called, I believe, a timeout for the Fighting Scots as El Husseini jumped on that pass. And while we have a second, we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Vulcans women basketball after today's game against Edinboro on the weekend on Saturday, traveling to the Gannon Golden Knights, who, if the score still remains, don't have the score in front of me, will be in first place in the PSAC West. So a tough matchup for the Vulcans there. And then in the upcoming weeks, next Wednesday against the Mercers Lakers, and then that Saturday against the IUP Crimson Hawks, before 3 games on Monday against the Seton Hill Griffins, and then playing against Mansfield here at home, and then on the weekend against Pitt Johnstown. So a full slate of games and a tough stretch for the Vulcans, and if they're able to come up with a victory in this game, it'll bode very well for this upcoming schedule that they have.
I think this is a make it or break it type of schedule coming up here. You're coming up against some of the best teams within the conference and within the PSAC, and if you get these crucial wins here, you're not only going to get yourself even better standing for the PSAC playoffs, but maybe better just get tournament standings.
And while we have a second here, we can look at the schedule for today's slate of games. Obviously, Edinboro and California. We had Pitt Johnstown taking on Clarion, Slippery Rock taking on Seton Hill, IUP facing off against Gannon in that huge matchup at the top of the conference. And we had Bloomsburg, East Stroudsburg, Kutztown, Millersville, a few other games in that slate as well. This one being the most important of them.
I mean, how can it not be? You're here on CUTV Sports 1. How can it not be the most important?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
You're taking your time to listen to John Sape, the voice of Vulcan Sports, and me.
It's so nice to actually do a game and not sit at home.
Yeah.
Waiting for the semester to start.
We've all been doing it.
El Husseini on the inbound pass, able to find Borelli, and Borelli able to finish through the contact, so she'll go to the line and try to convert the three-point play. That one is going to go against Fink. That'll be her third.
It cuts that game down. Cuts the game down to 10 points now, and you can, if you make this free throw, that cuts it down to 9. That's something you don't want to see, especially this early on in the fourth period. You're hoping if you're California, you're able to break away, and unfortunate there. Harrington and Fink both went up for the rebound, just not able to get in. Mr. Safe, you don't look very happy with that one at all.
Just a miscommunication, had the chance. Just pulling the board, get a nice possession going, but Fink and Harrington both fighting for the same rebound. Comes off of one of them out of bounds. So the Fighting Scots will take over once again. Sims able to find Boggs in the corner for 3. Her shot no good. And Mullen able to get the board. Mullen's shot no good and fouled on her way up, so she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, almost 2 minutes in here and 2 fouls committed by the Vulcans already. That's something you really don't want, especially, as I mentioned, here in the fourth quarter. And it's such a crucial game. You don't want to give up anything, and it's not looking very good for the Vulcans right now.
Mullen able to knock down the first. Cuts the lead back to single digits for the Vulcans. That'll be Harris's 4th foul. Something to keep an eye on for the rest of the game. One more foul, she's out. As Mullen able to knock down the second. It looks like Coach Strom taking precautionary measures, going to take Harris out and is going to send Young back into the game.
I mean, Young's had a pretty good game so far, taking up the minutes, and I don't think it's a bad decision at all, especially saving your player.
Fink driving, able to find Harrington. Gets back out to Smith, and the Vulcans look to reset. Lloyd looking to call the offense here for Cal. Lloyd. Nice pass to Fink, and great movement from Fink to just slip off the defender into the paint. The Vulcans with a 10-point lead once again.
So as we mentioned, Sierra Lloyd is a floor general. She's able to move this offense around and command it at her will.
Borelli and Sims playing give and go. The ball's back in the hands of Sims. Now Borelli once again. Looking for some help, able to get it off to Boggs. Boggs working way into the paint. Great block by Rajah Fink, and the Vulcans 4-on-1 the other way. Lloyd, nice pass to find Young, and Young finishes just like that. The Vulcans able to get the lead back to 12.
I mean, Rajah Fink does not care if you have a family to go home to. She's going to be in that paint, and she's going to swat anything that comes near her.
Great all-around display so far for Rajah Fink and the Vulcans. Just need to close things out here. Sims pulls up from 3 and able to drill that one.
It's a nice 20-piece from her. Now she's been having a great night picking up some of the offensive slack from El Husseini.
Like you said, 20 points for Haley Sims on the afternoon. And Fink able to get it into the hands of Smith, who's able to find Lloyd. 7 minutes left to play here in the Commerce Center. Lead back to 9 for the Vulcans. Young trying to find Lloyd. Luckily able to get it back to her. Now Young with the mid-range jumper. Doesn't get the bounce, but Fink able to pull in the offensive board. Nice pass to find Young. Young shot no good. Trying to fight for her own rebound. It ends up in the hands of Fink. Fink turnaround shot no good.
I mean, it's as we mentioned, Fink's presence in the offensive paint just changes the game, taking down 2 rebounds there off of broken shots.
Borelli going to work, trying to back down Young, and does so. Just too big for Young inside, and able to finish that shot off the glass.
And this game's starting to get dangerous now, 56-49. You don't want to lose this lead, especially when you've gotten this late in this game and you've played this well.
The Vulcans just looking to slow things down. 7-point lead now with just over 6 to play here in the fourth. Lloyd, nice pass inside to find Fink. Fink shot off the glass, no good. El Husseini has the board. They're able to go the other way. Nice pass to find Boggs, but great hands by Lloyd to just steal that one away. El Husseini went to the ground, 5-on-1 the other way. Lloyd to Young, and Young able to finish.
I mean, yeah, great court vision there by, oh my God. I just blanked. I just blanked on
it.
It was
Lloyd. She had the pick of the bunch there on the other end, and Borelli able to finish the shot. Great pass by El Husseini to get it inside to her.
I've been praising Sierra all night long, and I just forget her name. I just blanked like that.
Fink's cross-court pass cut out by Boggs. Fighting Scots 3-on-1 the other way. Lloyd gets called for the charge. Great job.
I mean, if you're watching this right now, you can tell both teams are absolutely gassed. Both teams having to run the court, almost running suicide drills here, and you can tell Raja Fink herself just looks absolutely gassed. She's got a timeout here.
Yeah, not the greatest pass by Fink, but a good job by Lloyd to recover. Gets in front of Boggs. My voice just cracked. I'm an adult. I'm not 12 years old anymore. But
it's okay. I forgot Sierra's name and your voice cracked. You know, we're not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. We're not perfect.
It happens. We can take a look at some highlights. That was the great finish like you talked about by El Husseini, able to just shield off Fink there. And we had Smith answering back with the corner 3, able to knock that one down. We had this inbound pass to Borelli inside, able to finish, like you said, off the inbound. And then another great pass inside by Lloyd to find the cutting Fink, and Fink able to finish. And then another look at that block. Boggs just trying to work her way inside, and Fink just gets up there and just sends that one back.
I mean, it's just the intelligence of Raja Fink, too. I mean, we've been talking so much about her physical prowess, but it's just her intelligence for the game itself. You see, she's able to throw herself up there early enough to be able to come down and get the block instead of jumping up with the shot.
Yeah, you could say she's pretty good, you know. I mean,
she's all right. She's all right. She's all right. She's okay. She's better than me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You ready for that game?
I don't know if I'd say I'm ready for it. It'll definitely will be a game, but I don't know how competitive. I know Gary and I talked about it. He doesn't think we can score a single basket. I think he's absolutely wrong. I think we can get one.
He has no faith in his crew members.
That's what I said.
See, this is what our producer thinks of us.
I said we can get one. We can get one basket.
He needs to get one.
We're back underway here in the Convo Center. 5:20 left to play. The Vulcans able to break the press. Harrington just brings it out, just trying to slow things down. As close as it's been in a while. 7-point lead for the Vulcans. Lloyd works her way inside, takes the mid-range jumper, contested. Young able to pull on the offensive board. Her shot comes off the underneath of the rim. Great pass to find Suman on the other end. Suman, nice pass to find El Husseini. Her shot no good, but able to punch it out. Sims from 3 now. A 4-point game.
You see here, California's tried to slow the pace down on the offensive side, and Edinboro has absolutely said no in bold and exclamation points. They do not want this game slowed down, and they want to keep playing offensive. You see, Young goes for the basket there, misses it, gets the board, though, puts it up again and misses. Crucial shot that you cannot miss here in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Wide open under the net, and Young just can't finish. It's going to be Borelli.
It's okay, John. It's okay.
Trying to back down Fink. Borelli lost her dribble, gets it back out to Mullen. Mullen gets it to El Husseini. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. El Husseini driving. Great hands by Fink to just strip that one away. It's going to go out of bounds off of Fink. Substitutions made. It's going to be Harris coming back into the game, but Edinboro have an inbound here with 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
This game's looking scary for California. You've led for so long, and you've had this lead just tied and up in the bag, but Edinboro has fought and scratched and clawed to get this lead back.
I don't think the Fighting Scots didn't realize that they didn't get a new shot clock as Mullen just ran it out. So the Vulcans got a little bit lucky there as the Fighting Scots just got caught lacking. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. They're out in Yodi land. I don't know what they were doing.
I mean, yeah. It happens. Sometimes you just zone out like that.
It just reminded me of like the J.R. Smith in the NBA Finals.
So LeBron James putting his hands up in that 2016 final. Was that 2016?
17, right?
17. One of them.
Lloyd now on the ball. Mid-range jumper from Sierra Lloyd and able to knock that one down. And right when the Vulcans needed it the most, gives themselves a 6-point cushion.
I mean, we've been talking about Raja Fink as a game changer, and I know we've talked about Sierra a lot tonight. We haven't really put that word on her, but yeah, she is very much a game changer. She's on this court, and she's making plays. She's commanding the offense, and even on the defensive end, she has a very long presence.
Sims trying to find Borelli, but that pass goes astray. Vulcans have numbers going the other way. Lloyd takes the shot from the free throw line and able to knock it down, and just like that, for a run for the Vulcans down the stretch.
I mean, just absolutely electric play here in the final 3 minutes, and almost now 3 minutes here. California regains their lead a little bit, and they've strengthened that break-off point.
Sims gets it to Suman. Suman gets that one stripped away. Great hands by Smith, but Suman able to come back and dive on a jump ball called. Waiting to see the possession arrow.
Looks like it's going to go in favor of Edinboro.
Yeah, but another great job by this Vulcan defense on the help. That time Smith just able to get a hand on it, poke that one away.
I mean, those are the crucial stops that you need here in these final 3 minutes. You need these big stops, and California's gotten them so far.
It's going to be Sims to inbound for the Fighting Scots. Able to get it into El Husseini. El Husseini now guarded by Smith, able to get it over to Mullen. Mullen with the deep 2. That shot rings out no good. Fighting for the rebound is going to end up in the hands of Boggs. Boggs finds Borelli. Borelli gets it back out to Sims. Sims pump fake mid-range jumper from Sims, no good. Borelli able to pull in that offensive board. Sims with the mid-range floater now and finally able to knock that one down.
I mean, you're seeing the California defense look at Sims and absolutely throw every single ounce of physicality they have at her because they know. And it looks like the ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by California. And unfortunate here in the final 2:30.
Yeah, Lloyd just got a little bit lazy there. Had the dribble, just picked it up and then tried to find Fink, and her pass just too high and it's going to end up going out of bounds.
I mean, you got to think that everybody here is really gassed. You see Sarah Lloyd's glasses actually came off. Looks like she had to clean those off a bit. I feel that.
And I mean, it happens. And like you said, the Vulcans just not playing super deep. There's a huge rotation from the Fighting Scots compared to the very limited bench that the Vulcans have played here today. Boggs going to get called for the travel. She just took one too many steps there. So the Vulcans catch a break and have a time to just reset with 2:14 left to play.
It's a very lucky call and a call they absolutely needed here in these final few minutes.
Fink to inbound, able to get it to Lloyd. 3 players down here trying to get the ball away from the Vulcans as Fink merges with it, able to get it to Smith and back to Lloyd, and just winding things down here, just trying to take as much time as possible off the clock and just get a good shot.
You just want to kill some time, getting some of that time off, and even able to catch a breath here. Sierra on the point.
Lloyd has the mismatch on Borelli, decides to take it. Her shot off the mark. Thought there was some contact, but it doesn't matter as Smith able to get the rebound and able to finish.
And yeah, the rebounding on the side of California has been a game changer here, being able to bring back all those boards in the paint.
Borelli inside. Her shot no good. And I believe that foul is going to go against Smith, and it will, so that Smith will foul out here with 1:36. Or no, they're going to call that against Raja Fink. I thought they were going to get Smith with that, and if it was going to go against Smith, that would have been huge because she's crucial to this defensive play for the Vulcans, and they need her down the stretch.
That's very lucky on the side of California. I mean, either way, if you lose Fink or you lose her, you're losing a game changer.
Well, that'll be Raja's Fink's now 4th foul, so Fink and Harris now both on 4 fouls.
I mean, with 1:30 left and the lead down to almost 8 points for the Vulcans, you can't lose either player right now. This is a very crucial moment for the Vulcans, and I think this is really a crucial moment for their season if they can close this game out.
And Borelli at the line. Has not been the best free throw shooter so far. Definitely have left a couple points on the board for the Fighting Scots, and be a substitution made for them. It looks like it's going to be Mullen coming out and Suman coming in And Borelli can close this to a 6-point game. And she's able to knock these free throws down. 10 points on the afternoon for her, as the first one goes too strong. And I mean, if she's able to knock down a few of her free throws here in this game, I mean, you're talking about a much closer game than 8 points. You're talking about maybe a 1-point game, and she misses both.
I mean, both these past 2 periods have been close score regardless. Collision there for Harrington.
Foul called in the open floor. Vulcans catch a break as that one will go against El Husseini. As Harrington knocks her down. Blocking foul call. That'll be her 4th.
El Husseini having a bit of a rough game. As we talked about earlier, she's leading the Scots in almost every category, but tonight, just not her night. And the Vulcans are taking advantage of it.
And you can see when she struggles, the team and the offense for the Fighting Scots struggle as well. And the Vulcans are able to get a basket here that could potentially ice the game. Nice pass by Lloyd to find Harrison's side, and 10-point lead restored for the Vulcans. 10 on the afternoon for Harris.
1 minute left. Pressure has to be rising now for the Scots.
Sims working right inside. Sims floater gets it to go, plus the foul. Exactly what the Fighting Scots needed.
I mean, we've been talking about the absence of El Husseini and how she hasn't been the best this game. How about we talk about Sims? I mean,
27.
Haley Sims this entire night has been torching the Vulcans, and they just do not seem to have an answer for her. She's absolutely torching.
27 points in this game for Haley Sims, the sophomore guard out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, stepping up big time here in this game and able to make the free throw, call that 28 points. It's like a timeout going to be called by the Vulcans, and that'll stop the clock. 57.7 left to play here in the 4th quarter.
It's nice to just be able to catch our breaths. This has been an electric 4th quarter. I'm not even going to lie to you, John.
And just back and forth, back and forth. There's so many just ebbs and flows of this game. It's just been so interesting to see and how they've been able to play out. And the Vulcans looked on the ropes for a lot of it as well in this 4th quarter. It seemed like all the momentum was favoring the Fighting Scots, but the Vulcans just clutch. I believe Sarah Lloyd had that stretch where she made a few shots in a row as we take a look at the replays here. And as she was able to knock those down, that kind of just swung it back in the Vulcans' favor, and the wind and the sails of the Fighting Scots is kind of just deflated.
I mean, that's what you need, especially from a playmaker like Lloyd, is for her able to almost be like a microwave, hit that 30-second button, and for 30 seconds she comes off and she gets those points for you.
Inbounds able to get in. Lloyd going to get fouled and brought to the floor hard. And Sierra Lloyd slow to get up. Borelli going to be the guilty party as she just knocked Lloyd off her feet.
See Coach Wheeler on the side of the Fighting Scots was calling for that double team in the corner, and there looked a bit dangerous for Sierra Lloyd, and she even now still looks a bit gassed and limping.
Yeah, Lloyd, hopefully everything is all right with her, but definitely seems a little bit slow coming off of that. Harris on the far side gets double teamed again. That one gets poked away from her, so the ball advanced a little bit further.
Good thing is that they're not killing too much time off the clock, so the Vulcans still have 23 seconds left in their play.
Fink able to get into Lloyd, and Lloyd trying to get it back to Fink. Gets her pass tipped out of bounds. So the name of the game here is just every inch is super important, and every second off this clock is even more important for the Vulcans.
Well, this is such an important game for the Fighting Scots that they just need to go till the last second. And as I mentioned earlier, this game isn't over till the buzzer beats.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it took him that long to foul. I figure that at this point, if you want to get the ball off of the Vulcans, you need to start sending some bodies, just trying to foul. And that time, they're able to foul Fink. That one's going to go against Mullen. It's going to be her 3rd. Fink able to get the inbound pass to Harrington, and finally a quick foul is, I believe once again it's going to go against Mullen. That'll be her 4th.
You know, we're getting to the final few plays here as the fouls start coming, and the Edinboro Scots just want to force those free throws.
Fink on the inbound gets it into Lloyd. Lloyd runs out of room. He's going to get fouled once again. And that will go against El Husseini. That'll be her 5th. Which I'm surprised, a surprising call, as like you said, hasn't been her best game, but being one of your more influential players, if there is a chance that you can come back in this game, you probably wouldn't want one of your best players to take that foul and foul out.
No, it's unfortunate, but it's just what happens at this late in the game that if you want to even have a chance of staying in, that you need to get those fouls, even if it's a player who's as important as Hosseini is.
Lloyd at the line, makes the first one, super important. Sends the lead to 8, and
you see the Vulcans still not going to give anything up here as Lloyd misses the free throw.
Misses the second. Timeout called by the Fighting Scots, and that'll stop the clock with 38.2. I mean, how many points did T-Max score? Was it 12 and 24? How many seconds was it? Or 18, something like that?
20 or something like that. It was really...
And then how many points? What was it? Reggie Miller's? He scored like 8 and 4 seconds or something like that.
Anything's possible.
So...
Hey, 38 seconds is a lot of time in the game of basketball.
Yeah.
How many times the ball can go out of bounds? I don't know how many timeouts are left on both teams, but he's looking at 1 or 2 left, I'd imagine. So this is still a game.
So we've seen stranger things from either here in the Convocation Center, so you cannot rule anything out down the stretch. But Lloyd did the Vulcans a little bit of a favor, able to make at least one of the free throws. Extends the lead to 8.
I mean, it's still looking dangerous here for the Fighting Scots. I mean, you can see a lot of them bent over on their backs just because they're completely gassed. It's been a tough physical game for both teams, and they're not going to lose any sort of ground. They're not going to give up any inch, and you got to hope that if you're California, you're able to shut this game down and get this important win.
Yeah, I think it goes to show you as well that you know a team is good, and even in a game like this where you haven't been at your best, you've been able to grind out a lead, and the Vulcans still need to finish it off here. Sims pulls up from 3, too strong, and Harrington able to pull on the board, and I think the end was just a formality, or so I thought, as Harrington gets ripped to the ground and nearly loses the ball, but Coach Strom called the timeout on the far end. That stopped the clock with 28.2.
Looked a bit scary there for a second. I thought the ball was going to get turned over, but no, lucky enough able to get that timeout.
And the Vulcans able to get it back, and like we talked about, not the easiest run down the stretch Saturday at Gannon, who I believe if the results still stood in that game against IUP will be the #1 seed in the PSAC going into that matchup. So that's going to be an electric one on Saturday. And then against Mercyhurst on next Wednesday, a week from today. And then on the weekend against IUP. So 3 tough, incredibly tough games in a row.
I mean, as I mentioned, this is a very important stretch, and it's going to show you a lot about the Vulcans as they are as a team.
Like we talked about, have not been at their absolute best here today, but has still done a great job at just pulling away with it as Lloyd, after the inbound pass, gets fouled on the other end. That one's going to go against Suman. It'll be her first. And Sierra Lloyd will go to the line to try to make it a 10-point game.
I think this is the game crucial free throws. Oh my gosh.
There are free points there. That is true.
Free points, free throw.
I mean, my basketball coach in middle school did tell me, he goes, you have to make your free throws. They're free points.
Did you make them?
I mean, I didn't play, so no.
It's okay, buddy. Neither did I.
Lloyd knocks down both. 69-59 your score with 25.7 left to play. It's going to be Jarrett. Gets it over to Mullen. Mullen from 3. Off the mark, no good. And that's been the story all night of the Fighting Scots, just not able to knock down these outside shots besides Sims. And that ball is going to go off of Sims out of bounds. And the Vulcans just... The ending here is a formality as Lloyd escapes the foul call as Sims tried to foul and just run things out here at the end of the game.
As I mentioned, I think it's a credit to the inside defense to the California Vulcans. I mean, they were able to limit anything inside the paint and force the Edinboro Fighting Scots here as they take a loss, as the Vulcans take a 69-59 win here in the Convocation Center.
Yeah, like you said, that'll be it here in the Convo Center. California emerged victorious 69-59 over the Fighting Scots. Nate, any final words here for today's game?
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know. I tried to think there.
Oh, me either. That'll be the end here. John Sape and Nate Kurtz on the call. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll be right back here for the men's coverage of Cowboys Edinboro here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Network, and 91.9 FM, the Vulcan Sports Radio Network.